A sickening capitulation today by the Albanese Labor government, a capitulation to extremism and terrorism in the Middle East and a surrender to base electoral politics here at home. After being weak in its response to the October the 7th atrocities and pathetic in its failure to respond to the hateful anti-Semitism triggered on our shores, Labor has now caved in at the United Nations and voted to support the sovereignty of a Palestinian state. So the senseless Islamist terrorism of October the 7th last year has been rewarded by the Albanese government with a nod towards Palestinian aspirations for statehood. 13 months ago, more than 1,200 people were murdered, children, women and families, and 250 were taken hostage, including babies. Dozens of them have been killed, nearly 100 are still held, and a deadly war was triggered that continues to this day. And the response from the Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and Foreign Minister Penny Wong is to acknowledge the sovereignty that they think Hamas wants. The Foreign Minister is trying to play this down now, saying the resolution relates only to sovereignty over natural resources, not statehood. But this is obfuscation. The resolution is detailed and it relates to a range of Palestinian grievances against Israel. Yes, it focuses on natural resources, but how can a people have sovereignty over their natural resources without sovereignty overall? And the point is that Australia has voted against this draft resolution in the past. It's clearly a change from Australia, which under the coalition would vote against these resolutions. Under Labor has started to abstain, but now it's voted yes and thrown its lot in with the weak and acquiescent majority voting for the resolution and aligning themselves with Palestinians and against Israel. This is not only grotesque, it's absurd, because neither Hamas nor Hezbollah nor Islamic Jihad nor Iran will ever accept and implement the establishment of a Palestinian state that requires recognition and security for the State of Israel. This is idiotic because there has never been a Palestinian state, and every time one has been on offer, it's the Palestinians who have rejected it, preferring to back Islamist terror outfits like Hamas, who want to kill Jews and eliminate Israel. This is also inane because the election of the Trump administration will see US support for Israel strengthen, and Australia is therefore heading in the opposite diplomatic direction to our most important ally and the most important external player in the Middle East. Jews have been in Israel for 3,000 years or more. They are indigenous to the lands on which Israel stands. They'd been there for centuries before the term Palestine was even coined, and thousands of years before the Muslim religion was founded. Palestinians have lived under the Romans, the Turks, the Egyptians, the Syrians, and the rulers of Jordan. They were eventually offered a separate state only as the modern state of Israel was established after the Second World War. And they've repeatedly rejected all offers to take that up, as I said. To pretend there is a Palestinian state to recognise now is not only a shocking attempt to appease the murderous behaviour of Hamas, it's reckless folly. I mean, where is this state of Palestine and who runs it? Is it Hamas? Shouldn't Hamas hand back all hostages and stop fighting Israel first before people talk of future plans? And shouldn't Wong and Albanese think about whether Hamas wants peace before they try to assuage it with a delusional attempt to recognise a make-believe state? This won't do anything to advance peace or appease Hamas. If you don't understand that, you haven't been paying attention for the past 50 years. This is just a horrible betrayal of Israel, an embarrassing case of diplomatic virtue signalling, and yet another blow from Labor against the Australian Jewish community. And it's a transparent attempt to play base politics by trying to protect Labor MPs from Muslim voice candidates and the Greens. Labor is selling out Israel and diminishing Australia's global values just to try to protect a few seats from an anti-Israel backlash. The Albanese Labor government is not worthy of our great nation.